All right, what's going on, guys? Jason Sins here. I thought I'd make this video walking through all the strategies and methods that we use in order to generate traffic for our agency, but also manage our models as a whole. And this video is going to serve two purposes, right? It's first of all going to show you basically what it is we do. And secondly, it's also the point I want to make is that you need to really start outlining your SOPs and you need to start outlining your truths, right? Because you need a shared source of truth. You need to start documenting the things you're doing in order to actually grow your agency. When you're just receiving content from your model and you're executing on tasks with everything you have in here, you're not really building a business or an agency. You're just a side hustle. You're a glorified side hustle. And I mean, sure, so think about it this way. Does the plug down the block write down his suppliers, where he gets his product, how he's gonna move it forward, his clients? No, he doesn't outline it because he's a side hustle, right? Okay, maybe like the mafia would outline it. I don't know. But the plug down the block is a side hustle. Don't be the plug down the block. In OFM, it's very easy to fall into this mindset of being the plug down the block. Be corporate. I know nobody wants to be corporate, and when I say corporate, it literally just means outline things that you do, record things you do, track data of the things you do, and make decisions based off of these things, right? So right now we have fixed strategies and SOPs that work for us in different areas, social media platforms, methods of communicating with our model, methods for receiving content and high quality, all of these things, right? Like all of these things are what make you an agency. And at some point when you want to go higher, or if you have a partner, you need a shared source of truth, right? So outline what it is you're doing, why you're doing it that way, and strict SOPs so you can bring on somebody on board very easily, right? If you need to share it with the model, if you need to share it with your business partner, even for you just to reflect on and to stop acting like a side hustle. Stop acting like a side hustle. I can't stress it enough. Don't be a side hustle. Okay, let's dive into it. So for example, in this section right here, right, we have a management, communication, and a Notion template section. So we essentially outlined why we work on Telegram. Essentially, the whole industry hangs out there, so we keep our communication there, right? You're able to organize in structured folders all your chats. And then we also use Notion, right? So this is for managing the models and managing our SOPs. And all of these two things, they're combined, and we have Google Drive in the middle for sharing the content without any compression or anything like that. And for example here, right? So this is the template for our dashboard that we give to a model. It's essentially the management system that changed a lot for our agency. Believe it or not, the moment we onboard a new model, they get this dashboard. We give them a little bit of a tutorial on how to use the dashboard, and the dashboard helps them stay organized. It helps us stay organized, and it helps everyone just be a little bit more professional, right? It's not a side hustle for you, and it's not a side hustle for the model. Then we come to, for example, Instagram, right? These are our shared truths, or these are our truths on Instagram. We have a section for everything that we do that we know works, right? So we don't want to have any guessing information in here. We only keep information that we're going to stick by, that we're going to use, and that we know work, right? So we have an SOP for device setup. We have account setup, so there's new account, aged accounts, how to set those up. We then have a section for growth hacking and how to obtain USA audience. We then have a warm-up SOP for the accounts on IG, of course, very important. Then we have our section 5, which is about daily usage and posting. How many stories are we doing per day? How many posts are we doing per day? How many actions on the account are we doing? What are we doing specifically? Section 6 is about how to source reels, right? So what method are we using? Are we using a scraper? Are we using a manual hand-picked list? How are we delivering those reels to the model? How are we choosing those reels for the model? All of these things that are very important for anybody that is on your team to know, right? Then we have a section about profile optimization, right? So what makes a profile highly optimized for conversion, at least our truths for it. These are the standard SOPs. We have to achieve this, this, this. Then we have a section for paid promo, of course, where we're buying paid promo, why we're buying paid promo, the different types of paid promo, and the contacts for paid promo and the groups for paid promo, right? Also very important to keep all of this organized. Then we have the SEO method, which we use in order to provide growth to accounts every single day. And then we have an SOP for how to record high quality and high resolution reels in 1080p without compromising any quality. So if you didn't know, when you're recording inside Instagram and you're downloading the content, you're only receiving 720p. And if they're recording inside Instagram, sending you this 720p video, and then you're uploading it, that's why your content looks fuzzy, that's why it looks bad. If you give your model a reel that requires specific edits, specific audio, and maybe lip syncing, anything of that nature, it's going to be very important for them to actually have a system to be able to execute on this, right? Because sometimes you just can't really make it inside the iPhone camera. Sure, if it's just a one-take video and it doesn't matter the music that you're overlaying, great. But otherwise, you need a strict SOP for exactly how to generate that content. Right, then we have a strict SOP for boosting Reels. Right, so anyone who comes on board, it's about understanding cost per visit, what does it mean, how do we work with it. Then we have a section for metrics and split tests, right, the metrics we track, how we're split testing. Then of course the recommended boosting SOP, so kind of like the general guidelines for executing a boosting process. And then we also have an SOP for boosting up new models specifically. In here, we also have like a shared resource, 500 IG creators niched. So that's just an Excel table with 500 creators, and they're filtered by niche. That can be very helpful at times. So if I want to look for big butt niches, I just go big butt. I have a bunch of accounts I can look at, vice versa. Then we have 3 SOPs or 3 methods for AI face swap. So we have the ripped method, the beauty enhancement method, and then the identity protection method. Which one we're using at what times, for what purpose, how to execute on it properly, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, just perfect guidelines for how to actually generate good swaps, because a bad swap is pointless, right? All right, on to Twitter. So the Twitter blueprint, we have account types and setup, right? So what type of accounts are we using? How are we setting up those accounts? Why are we choosing those accounts? Then we have Twitter profile configuration, how to make the Twitter profile actually look good. What steps are we taking to actually generate the aesthetic that we want on the account? And then we have number 3, so daily organic growth. These are the day-to-day SOPs of what needs to be done on the account to see growth. Then we have a section for retweet groups, how to do retweets correctly and not the wrong way. General SOP for comment baiting, how to do comment baiting, and the different types of comment baiting. All right, so then we have a section for Twitter content, right? What type of content are we using for these types of models? What type of content are we using for these types of accounts? We then have a section for avoiding shadow bans. And then lastly, a section for outsourcing and hiring. And of course, a little bit of paid promo if you want to get spicy with it. Then down here, we also have the adult network method, which I'm not going to get into at all. And then we have the free tube money method, which I'm not going to get into, which is just far too simple to explain. So these are essentially, right, like all of the things that generate us success, the way we manage, right? So it's very important to provide examples, because you can't expect everyone to, know things the way you know things. Like you have your truth in here, but it's hard to communicate that verbally sometimes to people, and people need basically just outline everything you want to do for dummies, and you're going to be good. All right. So those are all the things we do at our agency. Those are the things that produce those results. When it comes to these strategies, it's just a matter of horizontal scaling at the end of the day. And what I think you should do after this video is take all this knowledge you have in here and go write it down and just see what you come out with. I think you'll find a lot of holes in your theory of why it should work, right? So if you can't answer every section, or if you don't have every part of the puzzle, maybe that's why it's not working for you, right? You need every part of the puzzle, and you need an answer to it. Because if you have 50% of the puzzle, it's great. You're trying, you're doing a good job. Doing is more important than actually just researching, but you need to start completing the puzzle, right? Like take time out of your day to start completing the puzzle. Because right now it's in here and you're like, I'm gonna do all of these things and I know exactly what to do. But put it on paper and you're gonna see what's missing, right? That's all I wanted to do for this video. I hope it was insightful. I hope you learned something. And yeah, wishing everybody health, wealth, and love. There's a Telegram channel down below, and you can follow me on Instagram as well. Send me a message if you want. Do whatever you like. And yeah, guys, go get it.